Hi guys, I'm Brittany from Quarter Acre Roots, where we post about growing a lot on a little bit of space, but today we are inside talking about one of my favorite topics, plant propagation. Today I'm gonna specifically talk about houseplant propagation because I wanna show you guys some of my favorite houseplant propagation vessels that I use for water propagation. I just went a little bit crazy cutting some of my plants up. I love to trim off leggy growth. Anytime there's like a part of the plant that doesn't have a lot of leaves and has like a long stem, that's leggy growth. And I like to trim that off to encourage fullness in my plants. So I trimmed up a lot of my Hoyas, some of my pothos plants, and I'm gonna show you guys my collection of some of my favorite glass propagation vessels. First up, we have this one. I'm not even exactly sure what this was originally. I assume some sort of vase, but I got this at Goodwill. You'll notice that a lot of my propagation vessels came from Goodwill or thrift stores, or they're upcycled items. This one I love because it has a really wide top, so I can fit a lot of stuff down in here, and it just looks really cute sitting on a table. It looks like a nice cut flower arrangement, except for adding a little green in the middle of the winter. Okay, next up we have two of my favorites. These I purchased separately, but they kind of go together. They are two authentic Pyrex flasks. So these were actually used in a lab at some point. Pyrex makes really nice, high quality scientific materials in addition to like Tupperware and stuff that you're probably more familiar with. So I got this little one actually from a local vintage reseller store, and it was like $5. It was pretty expensive for this, but I got it because I thought it was super cute and I love the science vibe with it. So when I saw this one at Goodwill for $1, I knew I had to get it to have a matching set here. So this one I have more golden pothos cuttings in, and then this one here, I have some of my fern leaf cactus cuttings, and then I stuck a couple of my Hoya Wayeti cuttings back here as well. So these aren't like super ideal because I like a wider opening at the top, but they're so cool that I had to stick something in here. And since they are so bottom heavy down here, I can put cuttings that are like a little top heavier and it won't flip the container over. So they actually do work pretty well for the cuttings I have in here. Okay, next up from our sunroom, this one I actually have in the living room, but it's super dark in there and you wouldn't be able to see, so I moved it in here. I got this one from the As-Is section of Ikea one day when I was there. I love like the fluting detail on it. It's very pretty. It's really nice for cut flowers in the summer as well. And I have a ton of Cebu blue pothos cuttings in here from when I really chopped up one of my plants. Honestly, I planted this one like probably like 6 months ago, and I've just been kind of ignoring it. I have it in the living room. It hasn't really grown because the water doesn't have any nutrients in it, but I will pot this up in soil once the spring comes and probably use this for cut flowers or something, because this is definitely more of like a traditional vase. These are two more recent additions. I found these at a local thrift shop, Fetch Thrift. At first I thought they were supposed to be like candlestick holders, but they go all the way down to the bottom. So if you know what the original purpose of these was, let me know. I feel like if you use them for candlesticks, you just put the candle all the way down into the candlestick holder, and then the wax wouldn't have anywhere to really go as it's burning. But I have these up on our mantle by our fireplace. I think they look pretty cool up there. And then I've got some Hoya cuttings in here that you can see already have some really nice root growth on here. These are really nice for the mantle because they have a really small footprint, but they're pretty tall. So I think they look pretty stately sitting on the mantle with some Hoya cuttings in here. And it's definitely a nice way to add some greenery to an area that like does not get a ton of natural light. So I don't really have any plants there other than a snake plant. This one, I actually think I picked this up from Fetch Thrift the same time that I got the mysterious candlestick holder like thingies. I love the color of this. I love the shape of this. I love everything about this one. I use this one a lot for cut flowers as well, especially top heavy stuff, since it does have a larger bottom, so it's not going to be as floppy. And I added a bunch of pothos cuttings into this one that I trimmed up from my leggy plant that I recently hacked up. This one's like one of the only ones that's not glass. This is like a painted metal. And so this is a nice addition to my otherwise upcycled glass and clear collection. This lopsided upside down rainbow one too is one of my favorites. Like aesthetically, I love the iridescent color on it. I love like the fluting. It's super pretty, but I mean, practically, it's actually not one of my favorites. So this one, I don't like how when you put water in it, you can't fill up to the top of this side because obviously this side over here would overflow. So I generally don't use this one as much for cut flowers in the summer because it just looks kind of weird. Usually what I will do is put two different types of houseplant cuttings in here. So this side is taller, so I'll do something that has like a longer stem for rooting in this side, and then this side I'll do something that's a little shorter. Right now I have it filled up with epiphyllum cuttings that I trimmed off of my large Queen of the Night epiphyllum night blooming cactus. Those are the ones that open up large, gorgeous white blooms, and they only open for one night and they only open at night. I trimmed it up, it was getting a little crazy, so I will probably pot these all up in separate little bunches in the spring. But yeah, even though this one isn't the most practical, I really like it. This one also came from the as-is section of Ikea. I always check the as-is section of Ikea before we leave Ikea, so when I saw this, I thought, even though it's the smaller version, it's a sign, you have to get it. It's super cheap just because it was a display version, so you must take it home. Okay, now I'm over at one of my favorite spots, which is the kitchen window. Not because I like standing in front of the sink, but because I have a great view of my backyard from the window. And there's also a little windowsill here that I always have plant propagations on because the light is so great here, and it also helps me remember when I need to switch out the water because I'm standing right here at the sink. So this one is classic mason jar here. This is a bunch of Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen. Mason jar is always a good go-to classic. Here I have one of my favorite things that I collect. I collect these Wavy vases. They're like a 90s Ikea product, and so far I have 3 of them. This is my green one. She's so pretty. I love it. I have some Hoya obovata cuttings in this one. I really went to town on my Hoya obovata, even cutting off some areas that had some peduncles on them. So this one will be a fast flowerer once I get these in. This one you can kind of see through, like there's a stem that goes all the way down to here. So I like using this one for top heavy cuttings that have longer stems on them. And I think they look really pretty in this one. I love Hoya obovata. It's one of my favorite plants in my whole collection. This one, I cannot for the life of me remember where I got this one. I'm pretty sure this is a yogurt container. I know there's a brand of yogurt that people really like to save the glass jars from, and I'm pretty sure this is that brand. I buy the cheap protein yogurt at Aldi. So someone gave me this though, because they know how much I love little jars and things. And this one is a great size for plant propagations. I would say maybe it's like 4 inches. And a lot of times the stems on propagations are not that long. So I feel like I'm wasting space if I'm using something like this. I like something that is a little shorter, and it's perfect for these rickrack cactus cuttings that I have in here. Whoops. This is a variegated Hoya Carnosa compacta root plant, and these I just put in the water. You can see like it's not that long of a stem area to fit, so it's perfect for this one. And then I threw a couple pothos cuttings in here as well. Okay, and my favorite, this is my absolute favorite propagation vessel. This is a cluster bud vase. This is a vintage piece. I mean, I'm sure there are recreations. If there's not recreations, someone should recreate this and sell it, because people ask me about this all the time. Whenever I do a propagation video that shows this cluster bud vase, people always ask me about it. Whenever they see it on social media, they ask me, where did you get that? Where can I find one? My best recommendation is to set up an alert on Facebook Marketplace or look on eBay, because they pop up every now and then. I even saw one at a local thrift shop once. I did not buy it because I already have 1.5, which I'll explain in a second, because this is the top part of the cluster bud vase. I'll show you what the whole thing looks like in a second, but this one is also really good for things that don't have super long stems. So I've got a bunch of little Hoya rope cuttings in here. Looks like this one is already starting to sprout roots, which is very exciting. And this one I do feel like it doesn't hold that much water, but it's also kind of a pain to fill up the water and keep it full. So I like to keep this one right on my windowsill here so I can just put it under the sink and fill it up whenever I see water starting to evaporate too much from it. A tip that someone gave me for this, here on YouTube actually, in the comments, to clean this, I was having such a hard time, even using like baby bottle brushes, those little teeny like reusable straw cleaners. They recommended to get a coarse salt and rubbing alcohol And so put the salt in each of these and then fill it up with rubbing alcohol. And what that does is it kind of loosens up the grime that kind of gets stuck around the bottom of these little bubble things. I had tried everything. I had tried vinegar, I had tried just rubbing alcohol, I had tried all sorts of soaps for it. I ran it through the dishwasher on the top rack. Nothing was getting the bottom crud. Like the film that develops around here when you have water in there for a while, because like I don't use distilled water. So if you have one of these and you're looking for a cleaning tip, or you're looking at getting one of these, because I love them so much, they're so pretty, definitely try the coarse sea salt and rubbing alcohol trick for cleaning them out. And here's one more that I forgot that I actually do have cuttings in right now. I always have so many propagations going that I forget exactly where they are around my house. So this is a hanging test tube propagation vase. So I hang this using a little nail in the wall, and then it's made of two pieces, this back piece, and then you can see the holder piece just is kind of glued in here. And then I spray painted these. And then these are designed around test tubes that have a lip on the top so they won't fall all the way through, and they'll just kind of sit down in. I actually designed and cut these out on a laser cutter myself. So if you happen to have a laser cutting machine that cuts wood like this, it's like a soft wood that you would cut on a laser machine. If you have one or know someone who does, I will drop a link to the file down below. If you'd like to make these, I have a couple different shapes for this part. I have some in circles, I have some triangles. I think I even have one that's a cat shaped face, but I have a row of these up by our front door, and it's just a nice way to fill up some bare space on the wall that like you don't really want to put art. It doesn't get great light, but propagations would be fine there for a short period of time, and that's what I have these up by the front door, just a line of these on the wall. Okay, that's about everything that I have propagations going in right now. So I'm gonna go through some of my other favorites that will definitely be full in the coming weeks as we get closer to spring in the next month or two. This is the full cluster bud vase. And if you can look at this and not say, I need that, I don't know, man. It's my favorite. It's absolutely amazing. This is the top piece that I showed you in the kitchen, and there is one piece missing from this. Originally, there was like a glass circle that sat down in here, and then this sat on top of that. But even without it, it sits perfectly fine. I really like to cut up zinnias for this in the summer and use it as a centerpiece, just because it's like a low centerpiece for the middle of the table, but it's really wide. It's just very, very pretty. Next up, I've got an assortment of these. They come from like various thrift stores. This one says Sloan's Liniment, these old liniment bottles. I just think they're pretty cool. I like these for like a big single stem propagation, or like a big, tall one, like single sunflower. If I can fit the stem down in this, it's really pretty for stuff like that. This one is really nice because I love, again, how bottom heavy this one is for top heavy arrangements. I use this one a lot in the summer for cut flowers, not as much for propagations. I believe this was actually an olive oil container. I got this at my cousin's baby shower. This had Hershey Kisses in it, and you had to guess how many Hershey Kisses were in it, and the winner got to take it home full of Hershey Kisses. I never win those things, but I did win it for this, and I saw it and I thought that will be amazing for plants. So I hope I win that for the plants. And I did, so I've had that for many years now. Another test tube one I have is this little propagation station. This is really designed to fit super slim on a windowsill. It is designed for 1-inch test tubes, and it does have a bottom here because there's no like lip on the test tube to keep them from falling through. I did design this one as well and made it on my laser cutting machine. I have the design here for 4 of these, and then I think the other one I have is a 6-tube design. I'll put a link to that in the comments as well if you have a laser cutting machine, or you know someone who does, who can help you out by making this. It's a super easy project. You cut the 4 pieces, and then I glued them together with a hefty amount of wood glue here, and then I spray painted it. These are really fun for like windowsills and narrow spaces and stuff like that. And then I also have this is like this chalice. I don't know where this is. Oh, it actually says Avon on the bottom. I just realized that. I got this from like Goodwill or a thrift store or something. It's kind of hard to tell. I thought it was black when I got it. It has a nice red tinge to it. I'm not sure if you can tell in the video. It mostly looks black, like especially in a darker room. I use this one a lot for for cut flowers too. It can fit a lot because of the wide opening at the top. I think this is like a drinking glass at some point, but now it is for flowers, for me, and for propagations. And then the last one I've had a hard time finding exactly the kinds of cutting I want to use for this. Sometimes I'll like set this in a windowsill and put like little zinnias or little cut flowers in it. I got this one when I was on a work trip to Portland, Oregon, and there was this little plant shop. I really wanted to get something there, but obviously couldn't travel home with a plant on the plane. So I got this there. It's just, I don't know, I liked the colors of it. I thought it was really cute. I thought it kind of looked like fungus growing, which, you know, I'm terrified of fungus growing. So I don't know why I like it so much. I think it's a unique little piece. It looks great in a window. And this is great for like shorter propagations. So generally, if I have propagations that size, I'm going to use the cluster bud vase first because I can see through it. I can see the root development and I can monitor the water levels. What happens with this one is I will fill it up with water, put it on a windowsill, and then I will forget about it because I can't see the water levels, and then I will let the water dry up completely. So usually I am gonna use this one for cut flowers because by the time the water starts drying up, the flowers are going to be dying off anyway. It's just so pretty when I put like a row of zinnias in this and put it in a windowsill. I'll see if I can find the plant shop that I went to in Portland, but it was a while ago and I don't really remember, but this is kind of a special piece from, you know, back when I actually traveled for work. All right, that is about it of all of my favorites. I'm sure I'm missing one, and after I stop filming, I'm gonna be like, oh, I missed that amazing upcycled one that I got at the thrift store or something. I hope you guys found this interesting if you are also a jar freak like I am. I'm looking forward to spring rolling around so I can load up all of these and pot up a lot of my propagations and get started on some more propagations from some of my outdoor plants. Until then, happy planting. Okay, as predicted, after I filmed the closing and put my camera away and walked into the kitchen, I saw one of my favorites that I forgot. I got this from an antique mall in Emmitsburg, Maryland. See if I can give you guys a better look at what it looks like underneath the cuttings here. So this is like I feel like it has a very 80s, early 90s vibe. And when I saw this, we were putting a bathroom in our basement, and this was like the inspiration for the whole bathroom. So I went with like a black and powder pink look for it. I love this one. I love it for flowers. Right now I have one Raven ZZ cutting in it that I've had in it for a while and a bunch of the Pothos cuttings. So I had to include this one as one of my absolute favorites.